Hello, Granite State College. I thought I had recorded our meeting today, but I did not, so I'm going to share it again and share it with you. So we are talking about reducing stress this year. We're talking about how to manage stress when it comes and how to reduce the chances of more stress happening. So this is one of a series of different ways to reduce stress in your lives. And part of that series includes this Facebook group, and I would love for you to be a part of it if you are on Facebook. It's a closed group, which means only we can see what's in it. And it's where I share more information, more articles to support the things that we've discussed. It's also a place to get some support, some encouragement, to give some support and encouragement to your coworkers, and maybe even get a laugh once and again. I try to post some things that maybe will add some humor. So that is something I would invite all of you to be a part of. The other thing is you received an email that had this action guide for today's workshop. I really am a big promoter of people taking notes when they attend one of my presentations, because it gives your body that message that this is important. We don't take pen to paper unless it's important. It sets up in your mind and in your body that it's time for attention and time for some change. So if you don't have the action guide, that's fine. You can just take notes. I encourage maybe to fold a paper in thirds and then in half, so you'll have 6 different squares. And do take the time. I'll give you some time as I'm going through the different tips so that you can write down some ideas. It's great to attend a workshop, great to get some information, but the whole idea is to get it into your life. And this is one of the best ways I know how to help people to do that, is to create an action guide that they can make their plan to add some action. So I want you to think about the greatest gift you have bought this year or plan to buy this year, or maybe the greatest gift you have bought ever. Think about that. And then I want to tell you that it's not. Because the greatest gift you can give anyone that's on your gift list is you. Happy, healthy, strong, calm, in the moment. That is really the greatest gift you have. You can buy something totally expensive and extravagant and give it to someone, but if you are just a hot mess come your holidays that you celebrate, nobody's going to enjoy that. That's just the truth. So keeping care of you is the best thing you can do for others. So often people think that it's selfish to be dedicating time to themselves or focusing on themselves this time of year. And I really want you to turn that whole idea on its head and consider the fact that being not taking good care of yourself is actually being selfish. So think about that. Not taking care of yourself is selfish. The idea that if you don't take care of yourself, you're really not going to be able to be your best for your family and your loved ones. So how can you reframe the idea that taking time is selfish? Well, not taking time is selfish, because then people won't be able to enjoy me and enjoy their holiday as much as they could if I was feeling my very best. So give that some thought. Greatest gift you can give is you. So how do we do it? Well, I'm going to give you 6 tips to try to keep the happy in your happy holidays. And we'll start with tip number 1, and that's just to be aware of what you are saying. What's the dialogue in your head? What are the things you say to other people? So I just want you to think back, maybe today, maybe yesterday, some time that someone said, so how's it going? How are your holidays? Or how are things going? And what did you say? How did you say it? What are the words you used? And how about for yourself? When you wake up in the morning and you start thinking about all the things that need to happen this month, what is the dialogue that you're saying in your head? How can you reword that? So there's 2 ends of the spectrum on this. Either you're on the end of, it's almost time to switch from my everyday Christmas anxiety to my fancy Christmas, to everyday anxiety to my fancy Christmas anxiety, or it's the most wonderful time of the year, right? Two big extremes. Maybe somewhere in between is a little bit more healthy. And thinking about what you're saying can really help that happen. So your mind can only hold one thought at a time, even though we think it can hold lots. It can only hold one. So it's really important to make it positive and constructive and happy and healthy and something that will help you rather than hinder you. So I want you to think about this. What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to others? And how can you change that? So I will share that I am moving for the second time in 6 months. We moved from our home that we've been in for 21 years in July, and we've been living in an apartment. We're moving into a new home on December 22nd, and our family celebrates Christmas. So you can see there's a lot going on. So I had a friend who just texted me this morning and said, I was thinking about you. How are things going? How's everything with the move? And I started texting back all my complaints and I thought, okay, stop. A, she doesn't want to hear it. It's really not what she texted to hear. And B, what are you saying? How can you reframe this? So I deleted everything I had written so far, and I just wrote back, there's a lot of moving parts right now, but it'll all get done, and we're all healthy and happy. It's really it, right? Everything else is just details. Everything else is just details. So what are you saying to yourself? What can you say to others on your action guide? Maybe come up with your standard response or what your standard thought should be. What can you replace that with? So mine is a lot of moving parts going on right now, but it'll all get done. That's what I'm going to start saying to people when they ask how things are going. What am I saying to myself? It'll all get done. It'll all get done. It's true. We're all healthy and happy. Thank God. That's all I really need is for us to be healthy and happy. Everything else can just work from there. So what are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to others? Can you come up with 2 in your pocket, ready to go statements? Jot them down if you can. Be careful what you tell yourself. You're listening. And not only that, your body's listening. So if you want your body to not feel stress, your words need to also not be stressed. Your body listens to what you're saying. So how can you comment? What are some things you can do and say? Tip number 2, simplify, simplify, and simplify. This is going to go in your to-don't list. What are you not going to do this year? What can you give up? What can you simplify? What does not have to be done to the extreme that you usually do? How can you do that? I gave this workshop, similar workshop last year at a workplace, and I threw this out and I gave a little moment for people to think about what they could do to simplify. I'm going to give you that moment right now, and I'm going to share something after that. What could you do to simplify? What could you give up? What could go on your to-don't list? Think about all your holiday things. What doesn't bring you joy? What can you just get rid of? Maybe this year. Doesn't have to be forever, maybe just this year. So when I shared this at another workplace, a woman threw up her arms and said, I am not sending out cards this year. And she got a standing ovation, and she inspired others to say, you know what, it doesn't bring me joy anymore. It's a stressor, and I just don't feel like doing it. I just don't want to do it. Maybe they'll do it again next year. Maybe not. But is there something that you can take off your list? Is there? I encourage you, put something on that to-don't list, even if it's something tiny, something. Go ahead, write it down. Write it down. If you can't give it up, you just can't. I've made these cookies every year since I was a little girl. Everyone loves them. If I don't make them, everyone will be so sad. I'll be kind of sad. What can you do to take a fresh approach? Can you delegate it? Can someone else do it? Can you make it a teamwork thing? Can it be something that you can do with others to make it more joyful? So if you can't give it up, see if you can make it happen in another way. So this could look like this. Maybe you hate wrapping gifts. So then you have a night where you're just going to, after dinner, everyone's going to come to the table and help wrap gifts. Maybe you make a date with a friend and say, let's get together. I'll bring the wrapping paper. You bring the tape and scissors, and let's just wrap each other's gifts and just get this done together and maybe make some fun out of it. So how can you take a fresh approach to maybe a task during the holiday season that just feels heavy for you, doesn't feel joyful for you? How can you take a fresh approach? On the idea of wrapping, I do have to put this plug in here. Those of you who work in Concord, or even if you don't work in Concord, it is worth driving to do this little thing. On Hall Street, which is the same street that Granite State College is on in Concord, there is a gym called 43 Degrees North. Full disclosure, I am one of the instructors there. And I love that they're doing this every Wednesday night, so tonight, and every Wednesday night until Christmas, they are doing this amazing thing. I think it's unbelievable. For $20, you can walk in that door as a non-member and bring 10 gifts, drop them at a table, go take a fitness class, leave the fitness class, take your gifts, and go home with a workout in and gifts wrapped. Come on. Isn't that worth $20? If you're a member, it's free. So again, just a fun way, a fun approach. If wrapping's not your thing, see if there's a teenager that would enjoy doing that. I had a friend's daughter do mine the last couple of years. Just some of the special gifts that I wanted to look really pretty. She did them for me, and she was doing it as a fundraiser, and it's just a nice way for us both to enjoy that. So can you delegate? Can you find a fresh approach? Can you make it a teamwork type of thing? All right, hold on, this is still tip number 2. We're not talking about perfect, right? Perfect is the enemy of good. Perfect is the enemy of good. It doesn't need to be perfect. Can you give it up? Can you give it up? This is the time of year where perfect just rears its ugly head. Give it up. Not gonna be perfect, and it's okay. Tip number 3, do something today that your future self will thank you for. I use this in so many different ways with clients and in workshops like this. I love this idea. What can you do today that tomorrow you'll say, hey, thanks so much. That just made things so much easier. So, ideas. Packing your bag the night before. We talked about this in a past workshop for Granite State College. Laying out clothes for you and your family the night before. Again, just doing things to help reduce the incidence of stress. Making some healthy lunches. Mason jar salads are cute as can be, doesn't have to be that cute, but just lunches, already made healthy lunches that are going to fuel you and give you energy and are ready to go and grab in the morning. Double up, please, people, especially this time of year, double up on your meals. If you're going to make a pot of chili, double that recipe, freeze half of it. If you're going to make some sort of casserole type of thing, make 2, freeze 1. And then on a night this month where you just don't have the time, you just don't have the energy, you just haven't gone grocery shopping, you've got the meal ready to go. Make a Christmas gift list or a holiday gift list for anything that you're planning on buying, really organizing yourself. Your future self will really help be grateful, especially for this one right here, the budget, so that when January comes and those bills start coming in, you have stayed in budget. Your future self will thank you for that. And then wrapping as you go. So this was a tip that was shared with me a couple years ago. As you bring your holiday gifts into your home, wrap them. Gift bags are a great quick one to do that, and then you don't have this huge pile of things that need to be wrapped. You're just doing it as they come. So on number 3, on your action guide or in your third little square, can you write something of all these things, or maybe something that you come up with that your future self will thank you for this holiday season? Go ahead, jot it down. Jotting it down makes it more real, more apt to actually happen. Tip number 4, practice some stress relievers. And I've got a couple that I'm hoping will be kind of new to you. And if not, maybe you've heard of them before, but maybe a good reminder to get it going. So this is one of my favorites. It's the 4-7-8 method of breathing. And basically you just exhale through your mouth, and then you close your mouth and inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 7, and exhale, making that sound for a count of 8. You do that 4 times. It's a great way to reduce stress at the moment. It's a great way to fall back to sleep. It's a great way to get to sleep if you're laying in bed. If somebody pushes your buttons, it's a great thing to go in the bathroom and do just to calm yourself down. This method of breathing has got some great research behind it and is really helpful. There are even apps for it for your phones. You can just look for the 4-7-8 method, and it gives an app that does the counting for you until it becomes more second nature to you. One of the people that's a big proponent is Dr. Weil. So if you want to look up this video, you could practice it with him and give that 4-7-8 breathing technique a try. Exercise, exercise, exercise. I taught a spin class this morning, and I had more people than usual. And I just was so impressed, and I really I was gushing to them about how wildly impressed I was that they were taking this time again during this month where so many people say, oh, I'll just start again in January. Taking the time to exercise does an amazing job at reducing your stress, getting those happy hormones going, giving you energy to do all that you need to do this month. So please don't be one of those people that puts off exercise until January. Add a little bit. It doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't have to be a spin class. It can be a 10-minute walk. Outside is a bonus because that outside energy will be helpful too. With a friend, double bonus. A walk for 10 minutes with a friend or coworker, you'll feel so much better. So keep in mind that food is often abused this month and exercise is often underutilized this month. Please utilize this incredible anxiety reducing tip. You're only one workout away from a good mood. Make exercise a priority, and the time it put into it will come back to you. So that was number 4, some ideas on feeling, using breathing and using exercise to keep you calm. Here's another one. Under 4 is to interrupt the worry and busy brain. This little tip was shared by Martha Beck, and she suggested that when you are, especially at night, going through the monkey mind or the list of things, or maybe you're even in your car and you're thinking about all you need to do and just the list, and it's starting to make you feel, she says interrupt it. So if you're going down this path, whoa, how can you make it go in a totally different direction? And her suggestion is to consider what you would do if an elk or a deer walked into your room. All right, well, that would interrupt your thought process. Chances are you weren't thinking about that. So how can you interrupt this worry brain by totally taking it on a different route? So what would you do if that happened right now? And using your mind and your senses, and what would you say and how would you act? Again, just a way to just divert that busy brain. This one didn't feel right for me. I have a large dog, and all I could picture was that my dog would be going crazy. So I chose to think about, what would I do right now if a rainbow showed up in my room? What would I do? What would it feel like? What would I say? What would it look like? And that's a nice way to divert without giving the nervousness of what would happen if a live animal walked into my room. So you choose what is your elk. Can be a deer, an elk, a rainbow, whatever. Something that will totally interrupt your busy brain. Jot it down in number 4. What's something that would totally interrupt that track of craziness that we get into, that we just keep going? How can you turn it around? Tip number 5. This is about what we're eating. So it's really important this time of year to watch your sugar intake, and sugar comes in a variety of ways. Here we have cookies and candy. Those are the most obvious ways, but white flour, our body receives that just like sugar. Also, alcohol has a lot of sugar in it as well. So keeping in mind those items this time of year and watching how your body responds and reducing as much as possible. I'm not going to say eliminate. It's a tough time of year to eliminate. And I don't ever encourage just cold turkey elimination, by the way. If it's something that you want to do this very slowly and probably with help of either a dietitian or a health coach. So here's what happens. The more we have this uneven blood sugar level, the more our moods are also uneven. We get hungry, angry, depressed, upset. We can't think clearly. So we go for that sugar. And guess what? It helps. And this is why it becomes a problem, because it does help, but it's temporary. We crash and then we feel that panicky feeling or wired feeling, and then we need more sugar to get that relaxation response again. And this is what traps people into that sugar trap. So the more your blood sugar level fluctuates, the more likely you are to react in a manner such as this. So really important to think about reducing your sugar this time of year, being mindful of it. There's lots of great recipes. If you're somebody who likes to bring something special for dessert, there are ways to add some healthier desserts. So these I've made, they are always a huge hit. The sea salt is key. Do not skip the sea salt. So delicious, really good. It gets its sweetness from the dates and a little bit of maple syrup. Always a hit, always a hit. This is from the cookbook Run Fast, Eat Slow. So take a look at that. You can find this recipe online. The almonds and the flaxseed help to give it some protein and some fiber, which will make you not want 12 of them. It makes you just want 1 or 2. Here's another healthy recipe. Again, just dates. There's an optional agave or maple syrup too. These are great little truffle-like items. So there are options to having high sugar treats that we usually like to make this time of year. Just going to do a little research. Here are 3 questions that I really encourage you to have in mind as you're going through the holidays, because it's so many times this time of year that we get those treats that are available only this time of year. So my aunt makes these, I don't even know what they're called. I should know what they're called because they're one of my favorite things. It's kind of a candy, like a gooey candy kind of thing on the outside, and then inside is all these different almonds. And she makes a big bar of it and chops them up and then wraps it in wax paper. She only makes it for Christmas time. I love them. It's one of my favorites. And maybe you have something like this as well. So when you are sitting down and you're making choices about what you're eating, I tell clients 3 questions. It's all I want you to ask. 3 questions before you eat something. And here's how it works. So let's say I'm sitting down and my aunt's candy is right there. So I say, am I hungry? No, I'm not. I just had a full meal, but I still want it. Okay. Maybe am I hungry does stop you. Maybe if you really stop and ask yourself that question and you think, I don't want to feel stuffed, I don't want to feel full, maybe it stops you right there, but maybe it doesn't. So I'm going to say it doesn't this time. Am I hungry? Nope, I still want it. Is this the best choice available? That's your next question, and maybe that stops you. Maybe there's a gorgeous bowl of fruit or a lovely fruit salad that someone made the time to cut and chop and do all that. I love when somebody makes me a fruit salad. If you ever want to do anything nice for someone, make them a fruit salad. I just think it's so nice because there's a lot that goes into the chopping and all of that. Is there a better choice? Well, I could have that. Maybe that's where things stop for you. But in this situation, in this little scene I'm creating for you, it doesn't. There's a gorgeous fruit salad. There's a beautiful fruit bowl. I still want that because I'm only going to have it this time of year, right? How much do I need? That's the money question. That's the money question. How much do you need? I don't need 6 pieces. I don't. By bite 4, you usually have had enough. Your taste buds have had enough of whatever food that you are eating. So I'm going to take that candy and I'm going to have my cup of tea and I am going to enjoy the heck out of this piece of candy. And I'm going to feel the crunch of the almonds and the sweetness of this caramelly kind of thing that goes on top of it. And I'm really going to enjoy it. And maybe I just need that 1 piece Maybe I end up needing only half the piece. I might cut it in half just to see how much I actually need. Chances are you need a lot less than you think you do. So I gave you some ideas for number 5, the idea of making sure that you're aware of where your sugar is coming from, knowing that white flour and alcohol are also seen as sugar in your body or experienced as sugar in your body, that you can maybe make some treats that don't have a lot of sugar. And then these 3 questions. Am I hungry? Is this the best choice available? And how much do I need? If you can have these 3 questions just in your head as you're going through this holiday season, you will end in January in a much better place. Tip number 6, get out of your own way. So how do we do this? We help others, right? And the research on kindness, the research on doing random acts of kindness just blow my mind. We do kindness for others and we benefit. It's this great circle. We benefit, we do kindness, we benefit, we do kindness, everybody benefits, everybody. So it's tempting to look out just for yourself, but helping others can give you a health boost. It helps to lower high blood pressure and cortisol levels and provides a nice mental boost. I also just read this great article about it boosting your immune system. So yes, get your flu shot perhaps, but also do some kindness to help keep your immune system nice and strong and robust this time of year. Help out in your community this holiday season. Do good for others and for you. Here's some ideas in an email that I sent out to everyone on Monday. The link to this calendar is available. There's also a link for the work version of this, of spreading kindness at the workplace. So here's today, leave a positive message for someone else to find. I have these little, I wish I had them here with me, but they're in my car. It's this little booklet, and I got them at the Hallmark store. It's a little book, and I just tear out these little quotes, and it's a whole book of a bunch of them, and I'll write on the back of it, this is a random act of kindness, pass it along, and I'll put it on someone's windshield. And there was one time I did that, and I didn't expect it right away, and I saw the person come and get it, and of course they get it, and they look around, and I saw a smile, and it was just nice. It's just nice to see. Maybe not everyone smiles when they receive them. Maybe somebody rips them up, I don't know, but it makes me feel good to know that I've left some positive out there. It's just a silly little thing. I've been doing it for years, and I really enjoy it. I've been doing it apparently so much that one time when I talked about random acts of kindness at a workplace workshop, it's actually at a conference, somebody said, I've received one of those notes from you. It was in the Hannaford parking lot at Concord, and I just was like, yep, that was me. So kind of neat that it had come back. We all thought that was pretty hysterical. But this is just one idea. This calendar is full of so many great ideas. You can do it day by day, or just look at it and think what inspires you today, or use it as a guide for your own ideas. So on number 6, on your action guide, is there one random act of kindness you'd be willing to do today? Take a look at this for some ideas, or jot down an idea of your own. All right, and if you don't have that email from Monday, please email me and I'll be sure to get this to you if it's something that you would like to follow. So remember, it's not found on the internet. Amazon doesn't even have it. You are the greatest gift that you can give anyone this holiday season. You are. You, happy, healthy, calm. When you have that, you really have it all. So if you want, just put yourself right under the tree, put a bow on yourself if you'd like, but you really are a gift to your friends and family. I hope this gave you some ideas on how to go through this month in a little bit of a calmer way, a little bit more joyful way, a little less stressful way. If you have other ideas you want to share, please go to our Facebook page and jot those down and share those with others. We all could use your ideas, and I really encourage you to use your action guide. Put it somewhere so you can remind yourself all month that you are the greatest gift. All right, thanks so much, everybody. I hope that you join me on January 9th for our next webinar. It is all about the Whole Life Challenge, which will be coming up mid-January. It's a great 6-week challenge that I really encourage everybody to do. I hope to see you on January 9th. Until then, have a great holiday. Thanks.